Welcome back. Hour number 4. And, of course, with our new partnership with KPLR, we're now on 11.2. So welcome all who are watching on television. We're also on stltoday.com. Go to the opinion tab there. We're also on ktrs.com, the old traditional radio, and, of course, the phone app, which is good for your tablet, Android, desktop, whatever it may be. Off their smash hit, Ring of Fire at the Rep, the music of Johnny Cash, their next edition in this season is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and it debuts tonight. It runs through February 1st. And to talk about it is first with us the artistic director of the Repertory Theater, Stephen Wolf. Stephen, welcome back.
Nice. 4 hours. You're here 4 hours already?
This is hour number 4.
You're looking awfully good for 4 hours.
Well, you should have seen me in the first hour. I wasn't awake.
Yeah,
there you go.
I didn't have that slot.
All right, good. And you brought with us Andy Matthews, who is the actor and who stars in the play Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Andy Matthews, welcome to Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Thank you for having me.
Let's quickly wrap up Ring of Fire, a smash hit for the Rep.
Biggest selling show we've ever done.
Can you talk right in the microphone?
I'm talking right into this microphone.
Microphone.
Right into this microphone. Right there. Hi. Hey, on every channel you've got. Good Lord. Yeah, it was. I won't even look at you. It was a big.
Please.
I'm just gonna look right here.
That's actually your choice.
Yeah,
good idea.
Sure.
Don't look at me.
It was the biggest selling show we've ever done in our history. Lots of people new to the theater, new to the building, literally, which was really exciting.
Right.
And people had just a great time. It's not a standard musical. Wasn't a lot of chorus singing and dancing.
Right.
It was great music with world-class musicians playing his music. These guys were amazing. And so it was great fun. It was great fun to have it running during the holidays, during December.
I love the fact that you say so many people went to the Rep for the first time.
Yeah, really important.
Yeah.
Really important. Because there are people that don't know we exist,
right.
Or think we're booking shows. We made this show. This is our show. We built it. We put it together with the creatives for that, and for our production. And it's important for more people in the community to know about us. We're been here 48 years, and we still have a lot of people to get to come see us.
Right. A cultural icon in and of itself, one of those great cultural things that makes St. Louis great, part of the fabric. But Johnny Cash, we were talking about it before, cuts through generational lines. It cuts through just about, people resonate when it comes to Johnny Cash.
At all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, teenagers, college kids, and older people there too. Yeah, he cuts through.
Yeah.
In a really unique way.
Yeah, and so the trivia question is the best show, the biggest show, right?
Biggest selling show we've ever had.
There you go, is Ring of Fire, the music of Johnny Cash. All right, so now what have you done for me lately? Guess Who's Coming to Dinner this month? You have to follow this up now.
Yes, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. This is a new adaptation of the famous 1967 movie. This is, I believe, now the third production of this play. It premiered in Washington a year ago, was done by another theater in Boston this fall, and then we're number 3 on the list.
So when you say a different adaptation, what do you mean?
Well, it's an adaptation of the screenplay.
Of the screenplay. Oh, okay.
Screenplay.
Okay, gotcha.
So it follows the screenplay quite closely, but there is a playwright who was working on it and had the rights to work on the play from the film people that hold the film rights.
You decided this, of course, a long time ago.
This is not
right. This is something that wasn't picked out of the hat 2 days ago.
No play is.
But it's interesting with the timing, with everything going on here in Missouri and in St. Louis, that this is now coming to the forefront now.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no question. Once the world exploded in August,
right.
All of a sudden the whole conversation about race and understanding and tolerance takes on a different or more focused look than it would have if nothing had happened.
Right.
We hear the filtering is different, which is exciting, and that's what makes theater exciting because it's live and in the moment, and we are in the moment.
You're right. It's a living, breathing thing.
And when you have somebody like Andy doing the Spencer Tracy role, it just adds even more depth.
Yeah. Andy, how did you come to the part?
How did I come to the part? 28 shows at the Rep is how I think I came to the part. They very, very, very graciously offered it to me, and I jumped at it, even though I knew I was going to be there's nothing I could do. I'll be always compared to Spencer Tracy.
Right,
It,
right.
it was his last role. He was very, very sick when the show was being filmed.
Right.
And in fact, he was so sick that they couldn't get insurance for him.
Huh.
So Stanley Kramer, the director, and Katharine Hepburn gave their salaries as a stopgap to make sure that he got through it. And he, in fact, passed away weeks after filming.
Now, when you'll always be compared to him, but do you do it? Do you just do it your own way? Do you try and be like him, or you try and go the opposite, or you just try and block it out and do your own thing?
I purposely didn't watch the movie
Right.
simply because it would depress me. I'd
Right.
go, well, how am I ever going to do that?
Right.
And then I thought, but you know what? He's good.
Right.
And it would be ridiculous for me to just make arbitrary choices just so I wouldn't be compared to him.
Right.
I feel a little bit like he's standing over my shoulder going, no, don't do that.
Right.
Do it this way.
Right. It's a fine line between rejecting everything he did to do it your own way and accepting that this is how the role should be played.
It's an iconic performance.
Right.
I mean, so while I can't be him, I try to, do the play as it's written, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend that he was good.
Right. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, for those who are listening who don't know the premise of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, give us the 30-second pitch.
A 30-second pitch. Andy is a newspaper publisher living in San Francisco. The play is set in 1967, which is when the movie was set. So there's no updating. That people don't have iPhones and things like that. His daughter comes home. She's been working in Hawaii, and she comes home with the man that she's going to marry. Unbeknownst to Andy and his wife and their friends, he is an African American. And so everything sort of stops as the families have to adjust and figure out how to deal with this put in the world of 1967. Or is it any different today?
Right.
When the question is, what happens when the other comes home with the kid,
Right.
whoever the other is,
Right.
Which makes it absolutely relevant. The Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is, unbeknownst to Andy and his wife and his friends, is the daughter has invited the parents of the fiance to show up.
Right.
That's really Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Because the fiance doesn't know she's done this either.
Right. It's and it's life imitating art, imitating life, imitating art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want anything to add to that?
Well, I think, too, part of what's interesting is that my character is a crusading liberal publisher of the most liberal, most take up that cause newspaper in the city. And as a character says in the play, I would absolutely put on the front page someone else having a biracial marriage and be behind it. But what happens when it's your daughter?
Right. Yeah. No, it's you talk a good game, but wait a minute. Now I'm in the game. It's a different story.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting. All right. So it's at the Rep, and it runs through February 1st. Andy, are you from St. Louis?
No. I live in Connecticut. But I feel like I'm from St. Louis sometimes.
And that's the thing we should point out, and you sort of alluded to it. This is original content that you guys put on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're not booking touring shows.
Right.
We're making it up. We were in rehearsal for a month. We're now about to start to perform it for a month.
Yeah.
And when it's over, the cast disperses onto other jobs, hopefully, for them, and we go on to the next show we're doing.
How did you find Andy? Is it an open casting call, or does he fly in? Do you go over there?
Well, in this situation, it's a little different. Andy's done 28 shows for us.
Okay.
So we've known each other a very long time. And this is one of those moments where the director says, Andy Matthews would be great for this part.
Gotcha.
So we'll call Andy and see if he's available. So as you hear on the talk shows, Andy did not have to come in to audition.
Gotcha.
Because we know how gifted he is.
Andy, you're from Connecticut. You do this all over the country.
Right.
The Rep, we only know the Rep, but you know other places. Are there other places in America that are like the Rep? Is this unique? Is this special? Talk about that for a moment.
Well, a lot of the major cities have their own regional theater. The Rep is somewhat unique in the sense that I love it the most.
Right. Guilty as charged.
And I don't always love every place I go and work, but
Right.
and I also have to say, just to be shamelessly pandering for a minute, I love St. Louis.
Right.
I mean, I dearly love it as a city, and so I always will come here. You
Yeah.
know, I get the call, I'm there.
It's a special place.
It is a special
We don't
place.
realize it, but it's a special place.
It is.
Yeah, we're our own worst enemy, but it really is a special place. When you do let me ask you a theater question. When you do a play, how differences are the audiences, and how different does each audience make each performance?
Well, very often you'll find in a theater people who will come because they feel they should be there, and they don't always engage and commit to
Right.
the show they're watching. At the Rep, it's a fantastic group of listeners. They really do listen, and you always feel they want to be there. And they're not going to love every show, but they keep coming back.
Right.
And what I love about them is they're not hesitant about saying, I didn't like this show, or I really liked that show. But I love that because it's
Yeah.
engaged.
Yeah.
The Rep is important to them.
Yeah, it's a great date night. It's a great anniversary night. It's a great, hey, let's go see a great place night. Guess who's coming to dinner now through February 1st at the Rep? Stephen, for tickets, where do we go?
On the web, www.repstl.org, or on a phone, 314-968-4925.
Repstl.org. Repstl.org. And that phone number again?
314-968-4925.
Stephen Wolf, Artistic Director of the Rep, and Andy Matthews, who plays the lead in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, now at the Rep through February 1st. Gentlemen, have a good run. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks,
Thank you.
McGraw.
Back in a moment.